I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'd like to talk about this historic week and what it means for all of us with the inauguration of President Trump and all the protesters and what's really going on in this world and why this is happening and what we can do personally about it. So you see, this is a time of historic change. A president has just been elected of the United States that has never been a politician. He's a businessman, and people are enraged over the fact that this man can be so candid and so blatant and so outrageous with his words that he offends many people. But I find it very interesting that those that are offended come back with similar offensive wording. I find this is a big whole play of mirroring of what these leaders are projecting out there. The people are mirroring right back. And there's a bit of, I want to say, hypocrisy with all of this, because those that complain of Trump speaking in a certain way are speaking in the same way back. And vice versa, both parties, both sides are acting the same and blaming each other. But really what I think this truly boils down to is the fact that people are afraid. And they're afraid of what? Change. And of course, people are afraid of the unknown. So this big radical change is scary, and people are afraid because they don't know what's on the other side. So the protesters, they have a right to protest, but they are protesting because of this goes against their morals. What this man represents goes against their morals. And it's important that in politics we have to feel like this person is our leader and they are high-minded, they are better, and they are righteous, and they are trustworthy. But can we trust this man? This is the big question. But I think essentially, in the area of change, Trump represented an enormous big change, whereas the Clintons represented the same. They went from Democrat to Democrat in the same principles, the same allegiance, everything would continue on the same. But here is this radical that would break up and change everything. And it looks like because he was elected, more people were ready for a change. It's that simple. And on top of that, what I want people to understand that this time is such an opportunity for all of us to understand that what's out there is a reflection of ourselves. As above, so below. What is out there is within us, and we are the mirror reflection of what this whole candidacy and running and this political extreme explosion is all about. So healing comes from unity, and we are so divided. People cannot listen to anything that has a different opinion than what they feel is right. And we have to understand sometimes we're not always right. None of us are. And we have to be open to understanding. And the only way to heal is through unity and understanding. But the protesting, yes, that is a right to protest. But this protesting is not the peaceful protesting that they want it to be, because there's so much anger behind it. There's no way that a protest can be positive when there's so much anger and misdirected understanding and emotion behind it. So here is what I suggest. I love what Mother Teresa said. She said, I refuse to participate in any protests against war, but I would gladly participate in gatherings for peace. And unless people can really come together with a need for peace, wanting peace, to understand one another, this cannot happen. Because people may say they want peace, but then they come together to vent their anger. And that's not what it's about. And this is only going to destroy our nation. So people have to change. And here is the most important issue, I think, to remember with this. What you put out, anything you put out there in the world, will always be returned. If you put out hate, if you put out anger, if you put out aggression, it comes back to you. This is the law of the universe. This is the law of cause and effect. This is the law of karma. So really the law of relativity. What force is put out, it is met with an equal force back. And so with this simple understanding, remember, anything that we think of other people even comes back to us. This is a law. So think twice before you project and vent your angry upsets with the way you think the world is, because you don't have all the facts. And with this next solar eclipse, a lot of facts are going to come out, but people only hear what they want to hear. People won't listen to anything, even if it's truth. They will deny it if it's not what they want to hear. And that simply is wrong. We have to listen to each other. We have to be open, and we have to be compassionate. Because if we aren't, it deals with nothing but hate and destruction. And that is not a part of something I want in my world. So we must think about this. And I think that this is such an opportunity to try to understand. Yes, we love to be with people that think and feel like us, because it validates us. It makes us feel like, yeah, I'm right. Oh, that's such a good, it feels so good to be validated. But there's no growth there. The growth comes from when we can change to better ourselves. Remember this. I got into astrology, and I think most people that get into astrology want to get into it to better themselves, because it helps you see yourself more clearly. Makes you see the things you can't see. As a matter of fact, in the ancient Indian scriptures, the Vedas, there was the oldest reference to astrology. And in the Vedas, astrology is the eyes of the Vedas. It's called Jyotish. It is the science of light. And it gives us sight where we can't see. So through the astrology, we must look and take a closer look at what we can see within ourselves, deep within ourselves. Know thyself, and you will know everything in the universe. But deny that understanding and that sight, and there's ignorance. So the facts are, what we project out there, we will have returned exactly. So put out peace, put out love, because that's going to breed a happy life. Put out hate, put out resentments, and that breeds destruction in a life. It breeds divorce. It breeds family disharmony, breakups, unhappiness, sorrow. And it breeds the victim. And victims are those that are always putting the blame outside of themselves. Therefore, it gives away their power to change. Because when you take responsibility that whatever's going on in my life, I had a part in this. How can I see myself better to change it? If you can see that, and you can initiate the change in your behavior that cause the circumstances that you don't like to see, then you've regained your power. And then you are no longer a victim. Remember this, victims throw away their power to change by blaming other people. Always blaming other people. And by putting the blame outside of the self, you lose your power to heal and make yourself better and to change your life to a life of joy and happiness. And that's what awakening to the true self is truly and what it's about. So I ask that we now be proactive in projecting what we want to see in this world, which is peace, harmony, prosperity, and happiness. And by putting that out there, we can't fail but have that returned in our lives. And the more of that is projected in this world, the more peace and happiness that will come to us all. So with that, I'd like to close. If you would like more information on astrology, you can always go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Or if you would like to learn Vedic astrology, I have a university, which is University of Vedic Astrology.com. Thank you.